iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto, get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It is the Super Bowl, and it's over. And the Eagles win 41-33. Fly, Eagles, fly. The Eagles win the Super Bowl. I gotta tell you, I thought this was an outstanding offensive game with very little defense. Very little defense. I mean, Tom Brady throwing for 505 yards. The Eagles throwing for 373 yards. The Eagles rushing for 164 yards. Where was the tackling? Where was the defense? This was just like an offensive explosion. If you didn't know much about football and you watch this game, you're like, wow, football's the greatest thing ever. Where was the defense? But we'll get to that in a bit. Let's focus on Doug Peterson. Now, I had my doubts about Doug Peterson. I really did. Last year, as a fantasy owner, he shuttles guys in and out. I'm not sure. What's he doing? Even yesterday, like Garrett Blunt, 14 carries, Ajayi 9. He's screwing me. But man, did he call an aggressive game. One of the most outstanding examples of play calling I have ever seen in the playoffs. From the beginning, he challenged the Patriots and didn't play scared. He was throwing bombs. He had Foles throw bombs to Alshon Jeffrey in the first half. I mean, he's going in 4th and 1 in one of the greatest play calls I've ever seen. I mean, that was outstanding. So I've got to say, just at the Patriots, I mean, look, we could talk about Nick Foles. We could talk about Blunt. We could talk about Zach Ertz. We'll talk about a lot of these guys. But you have to give credit. To Doug Peterson. Absolutely give him credit. What this guy did was over the top. This team was relaxed. This team was ahead at halftime. They didn't choke in the second half. They didn't choke at the end of the game. They had multiple opportunities to give this up, and they didn't. I mean, they did not pull a Falcons. Falcons gave it up. These guys didn't. Exceptional job. Really outstanding. So the play calling, as I said, was perfect. And how about that 4th and 1 call with Foles getting the TD? And you know what? Chris Collinsworth was like, I don't know what I would have done it. Here's why you do it. If you don't do it, you get a field goal. 18-12. What do you think Tom Brady's going to do in the first possession of the second half? Patriots going to be ahead, and all that hard work was for naught. If you get the touchdown there, you keep the pressure on the Patriots. I love the move. It was a bold play call. I loved it. So, Jeffrey played well until he got covered by Stephon Gilmore. Then he disappeared. 3 for 73. Then he disappeared. Zach Ertz, outstanding. 7 for 67 and a touchdown. But he always seemed to catch the important ball. When they needed it, who'd they go to? Ertz. Boom. Nelson Aguilar had a fantastic season. 9 for 84. Sensational stuff for Aguilar. Very impressive. Corey Clement, 4 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Did they even touch him half the time? Seriously, did they even touch him half the time? No. But the Eagles rushed 27 times for 164 yards. That's an average of 6.1 yards per carry. That's why you win. You average 6 yards a carry, you're going to win. I mean, that's outstanding stuff. So that was very impressive right there. Now, let's get to the Patriots for a second. First of all, Tom Brady drops that pass. That's a tough drop. But look, Tom Brady's 40 and he's got a bad hand. Really? Is that the play call you want? Is that the play call you came up with? Not so sure about that. I don't think that was a great idea. Secondly, I would have liked to have replayed this game with a healthy Brandon Cooks. Now, That was one of the biggest shots I have ever seen. I mean, that was boom. And you know what? The worst part? I don't think it was a dirty play. I mean, I'd like to say it was a dirty play, but I don't think it was. I think it was legit. I think it was a legit play. He wasn't paying attention. Didn't see it coming. He didn't see it coming. I don't think it was dirty. But every time I watch that, I'm like, you're watching, I mean, that's why you don't let your kid play football. Because when your kid wakes up and they say, what's your name? And he goes, Batman. That's why, because he took a shot. That was a shot by Brandon Cooks. But look, Hogan and Amendola played very well, and I'm not going to say they didn't. But I would have liked to have seen Brandon Cooks out there. Would have liked to have seen what he could have done. I mean, he had one great play, and I think he could have made a bunch more. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the biggest thing that hurt the Patriots, to be quite honest with you, was Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler basically wins you a Super Bowl a few years ago. Basically wins you a Super Bowl. And you're telling me he's not good enough to get on the field? Did I miss something here? No, seriously. Did I miss something here? You've got Malcolm Butler, who had one of the most historic plays in Super Bowl history, and this guy's crying on the sideline that he can't get in. Is Bill Belichick trying to sabotage the Super Bowl? No, I'm serious here. Butler's crying on the sideline. You put Eric Rowe in. The guy can't tackle a tackling dummy. I mean, seriously. This is when you want to take out your starting cornerback? This is the moment you're like, this is a football move. Let's just argue that maybe he needed to come out. Shouldn't you have told him this on Wednesday? Shouldn't you have let the team get acclimated to this idea? I didn't think this was a good idea at all. At all. Seriously. You got to do better than that. I thought there was very, very, very bad timing. And let me say this. This New England Patriot defense, I don't think it was very good. Not one sack in the entire game. One pick, on a lucky pick, by the way. It was a lucky pick. One lucky pick and no sack. They say defense wins championships. No defense won a championship yesterday. This was just the offenses who won championships. Maybe all season the Eagles had a good defense. I didn't see it yesterday. New England's defense, Matt Patricia better get out of town now. Because that defense was horrific. Seriously bad. I mean, ask yourself this question. And let's assume you're not a Patriot fan. Who's the one guy in the Patriots defense that would play in another team? Maybe Patrick Chung. I'll give you that. Maybe Stephon Gilmore. Who after that? Seriously, maybe Malcolm Brown? They got 3 guys who might play on other teams. The rest of these guys aren't very good at all. Seriously, they aren't very good at all. Steven Gostkowski had the best tackle I saw yesterday in the Patriots when he tackled Kenyon Bonner. So that was crazy. You've got to play better defense if you want to win a Super Bowl. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. The 2 big calls that weren't overturned. So look, I've got this very simple philosophy. If you cross the goal line with the ball at any point, it's a touchdown. Boom. They need to change this rule. It's so bad. Nobody knows what a touchdown is in the NFL anymore. Zach Ertz's was a touchdown. He's a runner. He's there. I don't know. The ball crossed the goal line. Touchdown. End of story. Seriously. It's a touchdown. Corey Clement, that I'm not so sure about. Question is, did he have control of the ball? That I'm not so sure about. They gave him credit for that first left foot because that next foot that was in and then the next one after that was out. That was dicey. Not sure that was a touchdown. But then again, could you imagine overturning those plays in the Super Bowl? Those are big plays to overturn in the Super Bowl, which is why we need better rules. Was Tom Brady good yesterday? He was absolutely very good. But the running game wasn't there, and I knew that was going to happen. Running game was okay. Amendola was terrific. Hogan was terrific. Gronk was terrific. But you lose Brandon Cooks, it was a problem. But honestly, Philadelphia was just the better team to me. It was better play calling, and Nick Foles played the game of his life. He was fantastic. The RPO? Dude! I don't know what coach wouldn't let this guy do that for the rest of his career. He couldn't have been more comfortable. Outstanding. So I raised this question on our show on SiriusXM, and I said to Dave Spadaro from the PhiladelphiaEagles.com, if Foles wins a Super Bowl, what do you do? Well, obviously you have to play Carson Wentz because he's your best player. He's your best player in your team. But Nick Foles, you can't get rid of him yet because Wentz may not be ready to play week 1. So you can't get rid of him just yet. But what are you going to do? Have the Super Bowl MVP benched? So my guess is you trade him. You send him to the Browns, who will give you too much for him, and Foles has a career in the NFL. He does. This game put him on the map. This game was sensational. To beat the Patriots in the way they did, 373 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, outstanding stuff. This is where legends come from, right? I mean, seriously. This is one of the better Super Bowls that there's ever been, and Nick Foles was a part of it. Outstanding. So, did the Patriots have a good season? They did. They're a very good team. As long as Tom Brady's there and his guys are there on offense, they're competitive. I think they're going to miss Josh McDaniels. They're going to miss Matt Patricia. I worry about them moving forward. How much longer does this team have? When Tom Brady's gone, is this team as good? We know it's not. As for the Eagles, it's a pretty darn good team. I think they lose Trey Burton next year. I think he goes elsewhere to be a starter. And if he does, I'm a big fan of Trey Burton. Just watch that guy next year. He could be a sneaky guy starter in fantasy circles. But the Eagles played great defense, and Doug Peterson did an exceptional job. And you know what? To be quite honest with you, I had no skin in the game yesterday. And I say that because I didn't care who won. But as I was watching it, I admit I was rooting for the Eagles. Now, I know I'm a Giant fan. I get that. But I wanted to see Philadelphia have a shot. This was their moment. For all their crazy fans and all their things and all the movies, Invincible and Silver Lining Playbook and all this stuff, they finally won one. Good for them. Every city deserves to be a champion. Every city deserves their moment of glory. Let this be the Eagles' moment of glory. Now, I don't need to see the Eagles win again for another 30 years. No offense, Eagle fans. I don't need to see it. You got yours. Every city deserves one. Right? It's great for a city. Great for your fans. Great for the kids. Great for the dads. Great for the moms. Great for jersey sales. It's just great. And I couldn't be any happier. Speaking of happy, by the way, best commercial yesterday? Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. That was a home run by far. I didn't think the commercials were so great in the Super Bowl, but that one was a star. Justin Timberlake? Whatever. I think my daughter said it best. When you banned Janet Jackson, why did you bring him back? I didn't think he was so special. Maybe others disagree. I thought he was okay. There we have it. The Super Bowl done. It was a great year. Looking forward to next year. I can't wait. You know what else I can't wait for? I can't wait for you to go to scoutdfs.com. Go there right now if you want to win in daily fantasy sports. Scoutdfs.com. That's the place to go. All right, guys, this is Dr. Roto saying it was a great Super Bowl. Hope you had a great football season. We'll be covering the draft. Now it's time to get to baseball, but I promise you, when there's news, you'll be the first to hear it, whether it's in the NFL, basketball, or Major League Baseball, whatever affects fantasy owners. Okay, but right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Kicking back to baseball tomorrow. This is Dr. Roto saying be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!